What's up, guys? What's up? Peace, peace. Welcome back to the channel. This is Josh from KeepItTechie, man. Definitely appreciate everybody coming through. If you could do me a favor, just go down and hit the like button right fast so we can get more people in here. I think this is a important topic that's not really being talked about that much. You know what I'm saying? Most people talk about the cryptocurrency that sits on top of this technology, but a lot of people don't really have discussions about the blockchain and the technology behind it that is being used in a whole lot of other industries. And so I brought on, a special guest, engineering Cannibiz. He actually works on the blockchain. He actually does development on the blockchain, and I kind of want to pick his brain or whatever and try to get some information on understanding how this technology is being used in other industries, as well as what the hell are in our NFTs. So that's one of the things we're gonna actually
Well,
get into. So I definitely
yeah.
appreciate it. Good to see. I mean, thanks for coming through, engineering, and taking the time out to do this. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, I think that.
I
Yeah,
want to
you
make
good.
sure.
Yeah, you should be
All right.
good. Yep.
And if okay, so and yeah, I'm here to talk about blockchain. Currently, everybody's talking about cryptocurrency and how the cryptocurrency market is going to basically help and expand wealth and all that. And everybody's talking about everything dealing with crypto, and nobody's talking about the source of that, the technology behind that.
Hmm.
People who make the most money are the people who build the technology behind that, not people. Remember, crypto is just a product from the blockchain.
Hmm.
So the blockchain. Imagine blockchain as Apple, and Apple brings iPhone and all that, and crypto is just one of the iPhones. So Apple is blockchain, and the crypto is basically one of those iPhones, one, two, and that's what it is. So again, what you should understand is the source of that technology. If you understand the source, you can know how it's going to be applied in numerous industries, not only from the financial, but transportation, security. I'm seeing it in different sectors. So, an NFT again is another product.
Hmm.
NFT NFT is like again. I said Apple iPhone one. When the iPhone, they have the up to iPhone 9 right, or iPhone 10. I don't even know what they have right now. So NFT is like one of those the iPhones in there. So you have blockchain, then you have NFT, one of the iPhones. Then you have crypto, one of those iPhones. So blockchain is the Apple. So understanding the Apple, you understand the profitability in how you can make more money from that blockchain itself. Because blockchain is going to be not only in the private sector, but it's going to be in the government sector. It is already in the government sector right now. So, so you need to understand what blockchain is, and nobody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about. You guys can't hear me at all, or I'm too low. People are saying I'm too low.
Yeah, I just adjusted it or whatever. I was trying to tweak it or whatever, and I kind of took you too low. So I think you good
Okay,
now.
so
You should be
can you
good.
guys hear me now? Okay, bad. So what I've been saying is everybody's talking about the blockchain, but everybody's talking about the product,
Hmm.
but nobody's talking about the blockchain. Again, I'm going to repeat what I said. I said, imagine Apple is the blockchain,
Hmm.
and Apple brings out products like iPhone 11, iPhone 12. So imagine the iPhone 11 and 12 is cryptocurrency and NFT. So Apple is the big player, the big market, and blockchain is that big market. And the products being brought out from that blockchain are the NFTs and the cryptocurrencies. So understanding what that blockchain is important because that's where the source of basically most wealth will come out from. Understanding that blockchain.
Hmm.
Blockchain is being implemented right now in the government and the private sectors, in the educational sectors, in in the private sectors, I've seen blockchain in securities, I've seen in financial, transportation. I'm seeing it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding that blockchain, understanding what it does, how it works, is critical and
Yeah.
also important in knowing how new technology is going to be working.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this, engineer. For the
Sure.
slow people, you know what I'm saying, or the people in the back or whatever, what exactly, in a simple terms or whatever, what exactly is the blockchain?
Okay. Everybody tries to make it complicated. So I'm going to make it as simple as possible.
Okay.
I want to store data, and I want to store data securely. So usually, if you right now, imagine like a USB. You put information in USB,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that USB is where you can access that information.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine that USB is something where only you can access it with a special key.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else can access it, and nobody else can change that information in there.
Yeah.
In order for you
Encryption,
to
basically.
change the information into that,
Mm-hmm.
you store information in that USB. In order for you to change information, you can't change it. You have to attach another USB into the first USB to basically add information. You cannot change any information you store in that USB. You cannot alter it. You cannot change it. You can't do anything into that USB. In order
Mm-hmm.
for you to even add another information, you have to bring another USB drive
Okay.
and attach it to your first USB. So that's what blockchain is. Blockchain is trying to store information in a block that cannot be tampered with, that cannot be altered with, and even if you have access to it, the only way you can add information to it is by adding another block into it and connecting that block to the first block,
Mm-hmm.
and that connection is called a blockchain.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
have a first block, you have your information in there. Say I have information, let's go with the manosphere. I have information about a certain beautiful woman, all that stuff in one blockchain. Now, after 20 years, her body changes and everything, but you want to update that information. You can't change the information in there. That information permanently. You can't change that. But what you can do is add another block to it
Mm-hmm.
and connect that block to the first block
Okay.
with her new information.
Okay.
So with a new age, with a new body type, with a new everything.
Yeah, and I
So then
always.
now you
Mm-hmm.
can connect those two blocks together. Now you can track it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
traceable. So you can know her history. You know how she looked before, what she did before, how her hair looked before.
Mm-hmm.
How those two with those you can basically it's traceable. You can see every information about her for the past 30, 40 years in those two blockchains. That's
Yeah.
what the block store information where it cannot be changed, it's immutable.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. And I'll go into detail on what it takes to basically secure that information. So that's what a blockchain is,
Mm-hmm.
a way to secure information that cannot be changed or tampered with.
Mm-hmm. Got you. Yeah. And I've always heard people say, like a ledger. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And
a ledger.
and 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 I know a little bit about that, being that I've worked on financial databases, and you're
Yeah.
basically just tracking
Smart
all the
contract, ledger, all
transactions.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So in order for a blockchain to become a smart contract, it's like writing a program, an if-else program. It's it's a smart contract is within the blockchain,
Mm-hmm.
so it's where you basically store information, and then within that information, if you want to do, if for instance cryptocurrency, when you want to say what one Bitcoin is worth.
Mm-hmm.
So if one Bitcoin comes in there, then you do an if-def statement in your blockchain itself, and it tells you what Bitcoin is. It's like that's what we call a smart contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's writing within a blockchain what the meaning of that either Bitcoin or contract is. So it's basically the descriptive word within the blockchain, a program within the blockchain that describes, again, if it's a Bitcoin, what is a one Bitcoin worth at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, Bitcoin, currently, I don't know what Bitcoin is worth, 20 or 10,000 or 8,000.
Yeah, something like
So
that, like
if,
30
so
something.
right, so if if today at this time at this point you write a statement, if this one Bitcoin is going to be equal to this amount of money, 30,000 or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
that's what if smart contract is rather than if their statement within the blockchain itself.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me give a quick shout out to everybody that's in the building. I definitely appreciate all you guys. I see Doug, I see Dusty. What's up, man? How you doing? Marvin, Jesus, good to see you. Third Ward, salute to you, bro. Easy Computer Solutions, Professor Black Ops, it's always good to see you, man. George Gibson, good to see you, man. I definitely appreciate your help with the sound and everything. What's up, Doug? Simping for Sisters. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see all you guys in the building. I definitely appreciate it. And just to rehash, I'm talking with engineering Cannibiz, and we talking about blockchain. And now let's get into some of the ways that blockchain can actually benefit, or some areas like in different industries that blockchain can benefit or is being used to benefit those areas, if that makes
So
sense.
currently,
Hmm.
yeah, currently blockchain is being used in numerous industries. So
Hmm.
people are focusing on basically crypto and blockchain right now. It's being used in the supply chain industry, logistics, transportation.
Hmm.
It's used in the health industry. It's used in financial, health, transportation, security. It's used in almost industries you can think of. So one big industry I've been looking into, it's okay. For instance, it's you can use it right now. What in one case scenario I've looked into is the educational sector.
Hmm.
Now everybody if you go into school, you have a record, a transcript,
Yeah.
right? Your whole educational stored within a system. Now, in order to access it, you have to go through. When I try to access my transcript, I have to go through the school registrar, talk to people, pay some money and all that, then get my transcript emailed to me, faxed to me. But right now, if you look at the Department of Education, they deployed a blockchain where individual transcripts for any student is stored into a blockchain. And that blockchain has a private key, which is given to any student.
Hmm.
And once the student wants access to his or her record, they basically go in and say, okay, I want access to my record. And they plug in their private key and automatically the transcript is open. And
Okay.
if they want if the school wants to update their transcript, again, remember when I said they build a block?
Hmm.
They build a, but now because the first block has their original transcript
Yeah.
with the original undergrad, and if they go to grad school, they go to another school and all that stuff. Instead of going to different schools trying to figure out how can I get my transcript, they can go to that blockchain and say, okay, my grad school has been updated,
Hmm.
and now another block is built on top of your first undergrad blockchain, and a hash is then created where it connects your undergrad to your grad blockchain. So automatically, once you use that private key, your whole history from your undergrad to grad is opened up immediately in the blockchain.
Now let me ask you
So,
this before you go any
sure.
further. Now that, and I was hoping you brought that up. That dealing with your personal educational record and all that stuff. To me, what pops up in my head is privacy issues. And I
Exactly.
know you talked about the private key,
Yep.
but is that but is or people's still able like other people still able to see that information
It's
and tie it back
again
to you?
other people. No, because in this type of blockchain, it's devised where it's not seen by everybody.
Okay.
It's only devised to be seen by you
Mm-hmm.
and the school authorities.
Okay.
So nobody else has that. It's in the financial sector, you have that other side of the blockchain, the decentralized system.
Mm-hmm.
But this blockchain is where you are the only individual who
Okay.
has a private key to your blockchain accessibility, and also your school has authority to update it and update your blockchain, but they cannot. Again, it cannot be changed or altered, but they can update it. So
Okay.
they use the technology to update your transcript, but instead of being decentralized, it's going to be a centralized system between you and the school system,
Okay.
where you only have access, and it's basically educational system. The whole educational system is going to be in the blockchain itself. So every school, from University of Arizona to University of New Mexico to MIT will be on that blockchain. So your name. So your name, once you're on the blockchain, so anytime they update the blockchain, it automatically goes and seeks your blockchain and updates it, and then you are the only one who has access to it. Well, that is called that's not decentralized. That's a centralized blockchain between you and the school system, which nobody has any public access or private. You're the only one who has public and private access. What the financial sector is dealing with a decentralized system where everybody has public access to view it, just to view, but nobody has public access to change it.
Okay.
So everybody can. That's called a decentralized system, where we have public access to view it and see it, but only someone who has a private key can alter that change and add another block to it. And this is done through POW, proof of work or proof of stake right now, but I'll explain all that. But again, there's a decentralized system and a centralized system. The centralized system is where people have public access to see it, see the blockchain, see what's going on within the blockchain. That's what's going on in the financial market. They want that decentralized system where everybody can trust it because they can see it. But the centralized system is between you and the governing body. So if I want, again, the blockchain wants to be in an educational sector, I don't want everybody to see it. I just want me to have only access to my blockchain, and nobody else. And me and the school have access to the blockchain. So the educational department. So that's what's being deployed in the educational department. Instead of it being a decentralized blockchain, but between you and the school system. But the decentralized system where everybody has public access is what's going on in the banking sector.
Okay.
Where everybody is going to have to view it and trust it.
Well, speaking of that,
see what transaction is going on.
Well, speaking of that, though, if you're talking about financial, because I heard they're starting to try to develop and add this to certain ports in the financial sector, like purchasing houses.
Yeah, that's a smart contract.
Okay.
That's what the NFT is like.
Okay.
A non-fungible token, a non-fungible token.
Okay.
So
now,
again,
well, before you get started, what is it? What is a non-fungible token or
it's
NFT?
what we call a digitized asset. It's again things like a contract, a painting, like again your deed, painting, and all that. Those are assets that people can own, digital assets. So what it is we take those digital assets and we store it in the blockchain. So for instance, if I have a Japanese anime creator or a Japanese cartoon creator draw me up a creation, and I said, okay, I want to be the only one who has ownership of this. Nobody
Okay.
else.
Mm-hmm.
I want the only one who, once you draw it, I'm the only owner of it. I want this to be an asset that I can grow and sell. So I want you to draw a unique kind of character for me. And I want you to store it into a blockchain where, again, nobody's going to have access to it except me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to accept me, and nobody's going to accept me, and everybody. I want to decentralize, but everybody can see it. But I'm the only owner of that. I'm the owner. Nobody owns it but me. I mean, if I want to sell it or anything, I can sell it. If I want to, but I'm the owner of this. Nobody can copy it. Nobody. I'm the owner. So that's an asset because you store it in a blockchain where I own the private key. I own that asset. Same thing with a deed. So if you have a deed, a record, a deed that states that I am the owner of this property and nobody can contest it, and this deed is stored on a blockchain where nobody can basically change it, but it's public access to everybody to see it. But I can't change it. Nobody can change it. It's just public access. It's like a historical record.
Mm-hmm.
It's stamped and everything, so nobody can change it. Nobody can see it. Everybody can see it, but nobody can change it. So, and it's basically signed by a government official, signed by you. Everything it's signed, sealed, and stored in the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if someone comes in and tries to contest that this ownership is his, you have a valid contract that's stored on a blockchain that's been feasible for years or even decades that says, no, this land is owned, signed by me, and it has a government stamp that's been stored on a blockchain and it's feasible. And it's a contract. Here it is.
Okay.
So that alone, because it's stored on a blockchain, and it's recognized, and it's not, and you know that technology, nobody can change what's going into that blockchain itself. That contract is recognized and said, okay, look, this is an asset that it's owned and signed a contract that cannot be changed. So this asset belongs to me.
Okay.
So now I can verify it to anybody within that blockchain. So that's what an NFT is too. It's normally NFT right now seen in paintings.
Mm-hmm.
People drawings, people do basically draw and all that and store it in there and say, this token or this piece of art being stored on the blockchain is a unique piece of art.
Yeah, and I've actually seen a couple. Oh, I'm sorry.
Huh?
Go ahead.
I own that unique piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to sell it, I'll sell the private key to another individual where I transfer the private key and everything. And that individual owns that piece of art.
Okay.
But right now, since I stored in the blockchain, I own that piece of art. Nobody else.
Yeah, and I've seen
it's uniquely signified to me.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them, like people unboxing them online. They purchase like some type of art, and it's got it's kind of like, you know how people have their wallets, their hoard wallets, cold wallets, cold storage wallets at their house. It's got the the numbers on it and all that stuff or whatever, and
the
it ties
QR code.
Yeah. That's cool, man. But go ahead.
It's a digitized art. I own it. Exclusively own it. So if Disney wants to buy, if my character in a movie, or I produced this character and this character blows up, I own that art. So if Disney wants to buy or utilize it, they have to pay me.
Okay.
Because I own it.
So is that the same thing?
Because it's stolen.
Is that the same thing like with the I've noticed I've started seeing the NBA selling like highlight clips.
Yep, that's the same thing. See, what I'm seeing now is gonna go into music too. It's already going into music where people are gonna own certain albums or certain singles. They own it just for them. And this is where it's moving into, where people start owning stuff on the blockchain where
Wow.
they own it and they're the only one who owns it, and it's verifiable by everybody else. If they sell it, it's going to be verifiable by everybody. He sold it to this person. Now he's the owner with a private key, but he owns it. He's the only one who has the right to sell it to anybody else.
Okay.
So this is what it does. It gives you everybody that public access. Like everybody knows who owns it, and at the same time, you're the only one who can sell it. So everybody knows now. Hey, okay, if I'm Disney, I say, okay, I want to create a new character, and I like this guy's character and all that. I want to buy it. Who has access to it? He goes to the public blockchain and say, okay, this guy has it. Let me contact him. He gives me the private key. I buy it from him. That transaction goes in. That's how people are making millions right now, selling art. Most artists now are seeing that putting it in an NFT is more profitable than selling it on the road.
Okay.
So even the NBA right now seeing highlights. They're selling highlights on the blockchain. Musicians start selling beats right now. What I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be a more profitable business. If you make beats, start putting it on the blockchain.
Okay.
If you're an individual who makes perfect beats, start putting it on the blockchain. Develop a blockchain for putting your beats, and then you have historical records of your beats, and people come in to look at your beats and say, "Oh man, this beat is nice. Who owns it? This guy owns the blockchain. Okay, let me contact him."
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be able to copy it.
Yeah.
So you own that beat in the blockchain.
Yo, that'll help out. That'll help out a lot of these producers and people that create music.
I'm giving nuggets right now.
Yeah.
Actually, this is not out yet, but put your beat on a blockchain and see what happens. You will start making more money with your beats on the blockchain rather than having your beats sampled out. Any beats, any creation, any creation that you can digitize, stop putting it on the blockchain.
Wow.
And the blockchain, it's where it's going to go into. Right now, even the cannabis industry, in some of my streams, when I used to do with Black Brain Trust, I talked on streams on dealing with blockchain and regulations. And currently, they're adopting the same concept I talked about a year, 2 years ago. People are adopting it on the cannabis side with blockchain itself, with the QR code and all that. So again, the blockchain the technology is growing, but we're still focusing on the product side of this technology. Everybody's focusing on what's being produced. Nobody's focusing on what can I do with this technology, and there's a lot. I mean, I've seen people always discuss on how the police department and all that with African Americans, how basically African Americans and all that. There's a lot you can do with the blockchain and the police department. But one of the biggest issues with police department is access to the data. The public doesn't have quick access to the database of the police department. Why is that?
And like the videos and stuff that
videos. So why is it not? I was always trying to suggest this. Why is it not attached directly to a blockchain? Why isn't the video cameras immediately attached to a blockchain where immediately their video in it is immediately being stored in the blockchain, and once the blockchain comes out, nobody has access to basically destroy that content. Nobody has access to break that content. Everybody has access to see what's going on at that point. These are the concepts we need to be talking about. But again, we're focusing on the wrong ideas. These are concepts. If you have that on a blockchain, most of your police problems are now feasible and seen, and now you can then deal with that stuff. So these are the problems you can deal with your blockchain itself. Not only police department, but other aspects too. So this is what I'm saying. That's just one aspect I gave you, the blockchain, police department, and your music beats. So these are just one aspect is you can basically perform itself.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. That's dope right there, man. Now I did see a question in there from Doug. He basically asks, how do you make your own NFT? Do you know? Cause I don't know, man.
How do you make your own NFT? So basically, um, like any blockchain, basically what now I'm going to give you some details. How I program my blockchain, I use Python. I always promote Python in here.
Yeah,
I use
me
Python,
too.
Solidity, and Ethereum. I program my own blockchain with the proof of work and everything. Then what I do is take my data I want to store and basically store it on my blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
So I can create my own blockchain, then take the data. So for instance, your NFT, you just did. So you have an artwork. You take your artwork, digitize your artwork. Then I take that artwork you digitize and take it and store it in my blockchain as a JPEG or something,
Mm-hmm.
and store it in my blockchain I created on Python. And at that point, it's stored there. Again, I normally use the Ethereum platform, but we can use the Ethereum platform. But you store it there, then automatically the NFT is stored on your blockchain itself. And at that point, then you can start promoting and selling it, saying, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I have this artwork that's that is signed by me. It's beautiful. It's seen. Start promoting it. Looking at Instagram, promoting, and say, hey, if you want to buy my artwork, go here. Have it
Mm-hmm.
on the blockchain. I give you a private key. You can own your own exclusive artwork on
Okay.
the blockchain. That's what people are doing right now. A lot of
Yeah.
people, they hire artists from different
Mm-hmm.
countries and say, hey, I'm going to give you a contract from. I know a marketer right now. I hires an artist for a year contract and say, all I want you to do is draw for me. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to draw unique drawings, unique paintings, and I want you to digitize it and put it in my blockchain.
Okay.
And I'm going to sell it. And that
Okay.
person makes money from that. He
Wow.
hires artists and said, I just want you to draw. Draw the best you draw. Sit down. I'll just pay you money. But I want you to digitize. I'm going to digitize all your artwork and store it on my blockchain. And I'm going to sell that blockchain,
Mm-hmm.
the art in my blockchain to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I go, I go to China or I go to Jamaica and say, hey, I'm gonna pay you $300 to $400 every 3 months. Just draw as you want to draw the best drawings you want.
Yeah.
Digitize it and say, okay, I'm storing a blockchain. Come here, promote it on Instagram, do all that, and then that same art sells for $15,000.
Wow.
Same art you just bought for 300.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm talking about capitalism in the roughest sense of capitalism.
Yeah.
But this is capitalism. This is what is being done. Buy for 300, sell it for 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
You own a unique artwork based on this blockchain itself. So this is what people are doing. The roughest kind of capitalism, which it is what it is. I'll pay someone 300, 400 in a neighboring country that's poor and all that, and he sees a talent that's unique, that has an eye for good, unique art,
Mm-hmm.
and says, "Here's this money for a month or 3 months. I just want you to sit down and draw to your heart's delight,
Mm-hmm.
but digitize it and send it to me. I want to be the only owner of this. Just send me the art. I'm going to be the only owner of this art." And I'm going to store it in the blockchain, and then I'm going to sell it to the unique any buyer who wants, and this is it. And that's someone's owning a digital asset, and you sell it for 15,000 for a digital asset. This is what blockchain is doing, making money in the roughest part of capitalism. This is how people
Mm-hmm.
make money,
Yeah.
and you can do it in the healthcare system. This is how people are trying to go through the HIPAA rule.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to, again, in the health sector, trying to access people's records.
Yeah.
Blockchain is being implemented to basically for that HIPAA law itself.
Yeah.
How can I access people's records legally
Mm-hmm.
and access it quickly?
Yeah, because I've moved like to multiple states or whatever, and my
Yeah. See the
wife
problem?
has had my wife is sick or whatever. She done had like
Mm,
issues or whatever. But anyway, just transferring her records from one state to another is like
it's a
hell. You know
it's
what I'm
that.
saying? Yeah, it's
But
crap.
it's. I have kids.
Hmm.
To get my kid's record, I have to go talk to people. Say, hey, I need my record, my kid's records
Yeah.
signed to this, do this. How can I expedite this?
Hmm.
Where not only because right now doctors are trying to get your record to solve some problems with you, they
Yeah.
need it quickly and accessible now.
Hmm.
So now one of the ways this is going to be now is storing medical records on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Where now you store in the blockchain, everybody has access to it
That's supposed to have access to
within
it.
the that are supposed to have access.
Hmm.
Again, it's not going to be decentralized. It's going to be a centralized system.
Yeah.
So for instance, KeepItTechie, I'm the doctor. KeepItTechie has the private key.
Hmm.
If he wants me access to it, he says, "Hey, KeepItTechie, I need access to your record. Can you give me your private key?" Sure. Here's a private key. You have access to my record in 15 seconds.
Wow. Yeah, that's dope right there, man.
Rather
That
than
they able to
saying,
do
"Oh,
that.
stuff." I'm gonna
Hmm.
have, I'm gonna, I'm having problems. And then when I treat you, then the record I treat you with, I create another block within that
Hmm.
blockchain and store it in there. Now, when I create it, I don't have access again. You're the only one who has access to the private key. And I come back and say, hey, another doctor comes in and say, hey, I need quick access to your records. Can I have your private key? Sure. Here's my private key. Boop. Your whole record comes up on the scanner and said, "Oh, I see this guy has done this to you and all that." Quick access,
Yo,
rather than what's
that's
going on.
dope right there. Cause like
See,
I I'm just seeing all the different things you could do with that
you
because
see, that's what I'm
with
saying.
the military, like when I was
Military, your
with the
records.
military, when you first get into the military, you go through what they call, I mean, it's almost like in processing. You going through,
Yeah.
you getting all your equipment, you getting all your
Mm-hmm.
shots, you getting all that info, all that
You
stuff.
see, you
Yeah.
see, now
You,
that I've explained to you, you're now seeing what you're now looking
mm,
at the areas you can put this technology to because
yeah.
you've seen it, you've explained it. Now your eyes are open, like, okay, I can apply it to this. I can
Yeah.
apply it to this.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you see
people
that
always lose their records and either owe
you
stuff
see
or they end up getting the same shot twice because it's not
see
in their record,
see the
or it
gears
didn't
turning.
get
The
put in
gears are
right
turning
away.
in your head.
Yeah.
See the
Yeah.
gears turning in your head.
Mhm.
That gear is turning in your head is knowing, oh, I can make money from this doing this.
Yeah.
Oh snap! See the gears turning. This is
Uh-huh.
what has been happening. So there's a lot of use case scenarios for it.
Mhm. Now let me ask you this before cuz I want to move it to something else back to the blockchain a little bit, but
Yeah.
someone asks wouldn't that cause another issue when it comes to sharing private keys even between multiple doctors?
Yeah, you can change your private key anytime. Once you update it, your private key changes and only you have it. Has it.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
update it, automatically the hash again changes. Again, remember, the blockchain is
Yeah.
basically built on polymath,
Yeah,
where it
polymath.
changes the hash. So immediately you update it, the whole system basically changes the whole private key. Now you own a new private key immediately.
Okay.
So again, the doctor doesn't own it anymore.
Okay.
The doctor just updates it. Once he updates it and says this is a new block, it automatically changes the whole
Mhm.
private key again, and now you have a new private key.
Okay. That
And
makes
then
sense.
now, so again, it's based on polymath. It's based on if you program it, you can see what it's stating. It's saying basically once you get that new block, a new hash is created,
Mhm.
and a new hash creates a new key. A new key creates. I get access. Only I get access to it. So it's not
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
see that you see that whole system itself.
Yeah. I got you. I got you.
So basically, once the doctor stores it, it stores it, and once it stores it, it can be changed. So the record can see, he can see if any mistakes or anybody. It's also good for the patient. If the doctor makes some mistakes and say, "Hey, this is what," the patient can go back and say, he wrongly diagnosed me, or he wrongly did this. You can see that whole record.
Yeah.
So that whole record, that whole stuff is seen.
And that'll
It's
help
stored.
with malpractice.
Well, again, you see that get on it, malpractice, all that.
Yeah.
It helped with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So see that's what's going in there. So it helps safeguard your record, and once your record is safeguarded, the doctor is going to say, well, "You prescribed this drug, but you said he was suffering from this ailment. What's going on?" It's in his blockchain. You can see it, and at that point, now doctors will be more careful in how they diagnose you.
Yeah,
and how they treat you.
Yeah, because they know that they'll be held liable because everything is tracked.
Because right now everything is traceable, stored into the blockchain itself.
Okay.
So this is what it is in terms of patient records itself. Accessibility, and it's traceable, and it's immutable, and it's in the blockchain itself.
Yeah.
Once you store it, it stores there forever.
Now,
in order for you to change it, you have to create another block. So this is the advantage of the blockchain itself.
Cool. Yeah. So shout out to everybody that's still sticking around. Like I said, this is Engineering Cannibiz. We talking about blockchain and NFT technology now. And so shout out to everybody that's coming in. If you just came in, go down and hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? I want to continue getting people in because this is a great discussion. You know, he dropping jewels and everything. So one thing I want to ask you, you mentioned Ethereum earlier. Which is one of the blockchains. Now I was doing some research a while back on Ethereum, and it was talking about the power consumption. Yeah, and so I wanted to. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
The power consumption comes from the mining.
Yeah.
So the biggest part of the blockchain is the hash. Where the hash is basically a polymathematical equation that basically creates a unique code, and that unique code is what is called the key hash.
Okay.
And in order for people who want to mine it, basically what is mining is what they call miners are people who try to solve that polymath code.
Yeah, the equation. I got you.
The equation itself. So in order to solve that equation, you need a lot of processing speed to solve that equation.
Yeah.
And you need a lot of servers, not just one. I mean, a lot of servers to just solve a polymath equation. So a lot of miners, basically, if you see a miner, he has like 10, 20, 50 servers, and each server takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So you're trying to mine, for example, this is done in the financial sector most of the time. So you're trying to mine a Bitcoin. So the amount of energy just to try to mine one Bitcoin to solve the polymath equation, just to mine one Bitcoin, it's a huge amount of energy. So you have multiple servers going using processing speed, trying to mine just one Bitcoin. And that amount of energy is so much that it becomes basically wasteful. So we're wasting so much energy trying to just mine one Bitcoin. So that's where the problem comes in.
Okay.
The mining aspect is utilizing so much energy, so much servers that what they realize is if this continues, it's not going to be a feasible technology because people are always going to try to solve that problem. But now what Ethereum is now proposing, the solving of that problem of that hash is called proof of work. Just to solve that whole problem is called proof of work. Solve that mathematical problem with a lot of servers. Now, what Ethereum is now posing is what is called proof of stake.
Yeah,
where
stake.
yeah, where instead of solving a problem, what's suggesting is that if 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 Ethereum is 100% and I own 60% of Ethereum, and I want to stake that 60% of my Ethereum in creating a new blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stake my 60% of the ownership of Ethereum. Say, I'm going to stake my 60%, say, hey, I want to create a new blockchain. And I'm sure that what the information I'm going to put in it is accurate and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stake my 60% on that. And if it's incorrect and everybody finds out that that's not correct, I lose my 60%.
Okay.
If it's correct, I retain my 60%. So I'm staking my 60% of Ethereum in creating a new blockchain or a new block or a new information within the blockchain. So I'm staking my money into Ethereum. So they're switching into more of a, rather than mining and all that proof of work, they're trying to switch into a proof of stake, where individuals, the highest owner of an asset, of a coin, the highest owner of that is gonna stake his portion to say, if I want to update this blockchain or I want to update this whole system, I'm going to stake my own portion of Bitcoin to just update it. But if I do it wrong and I do it illegally, I lose it.
Okay.
And if they prove that I did it illegally, I lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to stake your whole 60% to do something illegal. You're going to be trying to do it the right way because you are staking your own ownership to just do that rightly. So if you stake it and you do it wrongly or you do it illegally, you lose everything.
Yeah.
So that's what proof of stake.
Yeah. So the consequences is not worth the risk. So
The
I get
consequence, so
exactly what
risk,
you're saying.
so that's a risk involved. So you're not trying to risk everything.
Yeah.
So rather than using the whole polymathematical equation and all that, where individuals start mining and solving problems and then owning bitcoins and doing all that, and that utilizes a lot of power just to solve that polymath equation, with a lot of servers and all of that trying to solve it. They'd rather say, okay, rather than use a cause and effect platform to basically carry out our whole blockchain process itself. Rather than using polymath, why not use a cause and effect to carry out our whole Ethereum platform itself? And what I would say is this: I still use proof of work in my coding because proof of work works for me in certain sectors where I don't need to put mining aspect into it. Proof of stake is more of in the financial sector. And currently, I'm still looking at the code to see how I can use that proof of stake in my code in other sectors itself. But currently, I'm still using proof of work in other sectors, like again, health industry or the other sectors, where I don't need to mine. I don't need to put someone to mine anything into those sectors. All I need to do is create a blockchain, store information in there, and have people have access to it. And build a blockchain. Now I don't need to put proof. I don't need to put mining or anything in there. All I need to do is do all that aspect of the code itself. But in the financial sector, that's where you need the proof of stake, the mining, and all that in the financial sector. But again, that's why I always say we are so focused in the product that you're not looking at the source of the product. I just told you on the source, and you already started thinking of the army, how you can implement this technology in the army and all that. You're already thinking about it because you understand the source of the product itself. So right now, if you learn how to code it and go say, okay, look, I have a proposal for the army. This is what I want to propose. This is what I want to do. Here it is. I have a scenario. I can do it. Blah 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 blah. Here it is. Pay me. I
Yeah.
was gonna give you millions and say, sure, implement it.
So I probably shouldn't have said that on his live
Yeah, you should
stream.
have said that. That's all
Oh
you.
crap.
You should have said that. That's all you should. I already know somebody coding that stuff right now. Like, oh shit, I got a proposal on Monday. Fuck that.
Yeah.
So you should have said that. So I don't know what you do with that. So
Oh
so this
man.
is so you still have all the ideas that will say, okay, what
Mm-hmm.
other aspect can I put this in there? So this
Yeah.
is where your gears should be turning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is where your gears should be. So you understand the source of the you understand the source of the technology. Now you understand how can I implement it.
Yeah.
But people right now are mostly focused on the product.
Mm-hmm.
But you are seeing the source and see, okay, where can I implement this in? And this is where the numerous sectors, I even told you about the health sector and all that. These are just numerous sectors people are implementing in.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what you should be, this is what I believe we should be focusing on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the product itself. The product is not going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Product's going to help a few people, but what's going to help is the proof of work and how the whole blockchain works itself, and how to implement it in different sectors.
Yeah, and
I'm seeing it being implemented in Africa and all that. So different ways you can implement it. That's where the more money is.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with you, man, because and that's kind of why I never got on the hype train of all these different cryptocurrencies. You know, I got a little bit, you know what I'm saying, but it's just play money, you know what I'm saying? Just I look at it as like monopoly money that I'm playing.
I don't get into cryptos and all that. I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing this. No.
Mm-hmm.
The crypto is good, but it's still a product.
Yeah.
It's something you need to implement and all that. And with Marcus B, yeah, it's a several multi-million-dollar data center to complete the project. Yeah, it is, but shouldn't KeepItTechie own that multi-million-dollar project to do it?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm glad you said that, because I was finna respond to his comment too. I mean, it has to start somewhere. So if you had the concept built out,
yeah, the concept built,
then you wouldn't need it until you get that. Yeah, until you actually win the contract or the bid or however.
Yeah, the bid that said KeepItTechie, please start it. So once you start it, they say, okay. Again, it's not going to be built a day. That's why government gives you millions of dollars
to actually build out the concept.
7 years, 8 years, and dollars, millions of dollars to pump it and do it in. That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. But shout out to you, man. Thanks for. I mean, it's good. I'm glad you guys are, involved in the conversation and everything. And shout out to you, Richard Dixon. Good to see you in the chat as well. And he has, I think he has a question for you. Have you been coding your own blockchain EC? Do you know what that is?
I think that's my name. EC blockchain.
Okay.
Engineering Cannibiz EC.
Oh no, he didn't say you.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I've been coding my own blockchain for 2 years now.
Okay.
I've been using Python, the HashLab, the libraries in Python. They have good libraries. That's the back end for the blockchain. And the front end is Ethereum, Solidity. I've recently learned a new way to do it in the front end. So yes, I've been coding blockchain, but my back end mostly is Python. I started looking at Java, but mostly my back end for coding blockchain is on Python, and it's easy with the class. You basically put in the class of blockchain, define your whole variables, and go from there.
Okay.
So yeah. Yes, cool. I've been coding my blockchain for 2 years, and it's again, in order to block, there are some courses out there that helps you. So it took me 2 years just to read books and took some courses and continued. I did it because as a data scientist, I was looking for a way to deal with biases in data. Okay. So, for instance, if someone comes in and say they want to know how Black people think, and they say they want to go use BET as a way to know how Black people think, And I said, that's a fucked up way to know how black people think using BET. What the fuck? How you gonna use BET and use maybe some movies from there? And then I realized that if you started on a blockchain, I realized your data came from BET. Then I can say, okay, that's fucked up.
Yeah, oh, that's
That's not how
wrong.
you.
That's not a yeah. That's not where
That's
you
not
get
how
that.
you. That's no way you know how to. So I used a blockchain. I started from the Black Brain Trust introduced me to blockchain. Then, like what you just realized, the gear started turning in my head, and I started learning how to use it. Then I started using it as a data scientist to tackle biases and how people collect data and all that. So that's what I'm trying to use it for in my data science role itself. So yes, I've been coding blockchain for 2 years, and I've not been using any code crypto. I'm sorry, crypto is like the last aspect I use it to code. I use it to code other important aspects that I might want to make money in rather than crypto. So I use it for other industries. So crypto is like the last aspect I use it for. I use it for smart contracts and all that, but crypto is not what I usually use my coding of blockchain is for. I just use it for other industries again, like the health sector, transportation, cannabis, and all that.
Cool. So just go down and shout out where people can find you and everything, because I'm gonna go down and call it a day.
I'm gonna say this. I used to engineer. I will tell you, go to engineering cannabis and all. Be honest with you, I'm kind of shutting down all this stuff because don't get me wrong, I love YouTube, but the YouTube scenario is more of entertainment now.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing the benefits of continued push of blockchain and
you can waste a lot of time on YouTube. You actually can.
Yeah, so to be honest with you, I'm just shutting down some stuff. I already created contacts with people I already know here, KeepItTechie, Mike V, all that, and everybody else. But to be honest with you, I'm about to shut down on YouTube for almost good because it's not viable anymore in terms of a space that they don't see it as important anymore. Yeah. So again, even with the cannabis industry, it's wild right now. People are making money, and I'm in tech, and I'm trying to make. So I have projects I'm working on, personal projects, and I think I'd rather focus on that right now, and focus on creating more projects and everything, and creating more real-time projects with the government, creating projects with private sectors, and just pushing my name through that sector rather than
and that's
YouTube.
Cool. I'm actually doing the same thing. I'm in the process of building an LLC with a business partner of mine.
Yeah, and I have some businesses I'm trying to run now. With Complex, and so I have some tech companies I'm trying to take scenarios I'm trying to start up and do stuff. There's a lot I'm trying to do, but again, the YouTube stuff it was fun. I tried to bring it in for a year or two so I can help people go into AI, blockchain, and show people that there's a lot of money being made here, and there's a lot of money being made out here. There's a lot of stuff being created out here, and black folks are not involved in it, and it's kind of sad. But again, we talk of police brutality. I just gave you a scenario on blockchain, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about other aspects of it. Yeah, we're talking about this is just a solution. I'm just talking about. If we push this kind of solution, you not only make money from that solution, but also provide help to your community. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm like, nah. It's You can find me. If you want to find me, you'll find me.
Hey,
But
Richard Dixon just stated, he just said a little bit, go to Twitter, man. Twitter is, I don't know. It seems like you don't waste much time. You know what I'm saying? And you could get in, get out. You can look at the hashtags because I follow a bunch of the hashtags on there, like Black Tech Twitter, and that way you just kind of keep abreast of what people are talking about. And
because
I don't
right
know.
now,
That's
see,
just,
KeepItTechie, you just talked about. I just gave you what blockchain is, and you already found a solution to it.
mhm.
They pay people like what I just told you. They paid me like $20,000 just to sit down, to talk to you and give you that idea, and quick and easy, you're good to go.
Yeah.
See, and you already knew what to do. So imagine telling someone that he makes 5-10 billion, and he gives me that. So what I'm seeing is more, and I'm giving this for free. I've been doing it for 2 years for
Yeah.
free,
Yeah. I know.
and
I've been doing it too.
yeah, I'm doing it for free, and I wasn't complaining because it was always that good. It was something I was passionate about. Like,
Yeah.
we need more Black people in tech, AI, all that. I was giving it for free, and it's still there. But again, I'm not seeing the interest. I'm a data scientist.
Yeah.
When I talk to Noche shows or other things, the show I talked to Noche, there were maybe 50 people. The next hour, they were talking about how women basically doing something, and there were 20,000 people.
Yeah, I know, man. Hey, it's
So you see
I
that
get what you're
discouraging
saying.
aspect of it, like.
No, I get what you're saying because trust me, it's been times where I've been wanting to just shut down my channel. To be honest, I mean, I haven't said anything, but I try to keep it to
See
myself. But it's been times where
I
I just
stopped.
want to just go on and give up on it. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
stopped creating content in mine because I was like, I got more pressing needs to do. I can create.
But I know it's
I can
benefiting somebody though. At the end of the day,
benefiting somebody. Yeah,
somebody out
benefit.
there is benefiting from it. So that's why I just keep going.
Okay,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
instance, right
So
now we have the owner of Amazon, the owner of Virgin. They're trying to go into space in a couple of months,
yeah,
but nobody's talking about that.
yeah,
We have currently in California, we had the highest heat wave that boiled a lot of marine life. So everybody's increasing space exploration while the Earth is dying. Don't you see the correlation?
yeah.
People are trying to run, but nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about women. People are trying to run to another planet, colonize the other planet with Elon Musk and all that, trying to build space for what, their own people, and we are doing what?
Talking about Cardi B. But I get exactly what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying, and then they
I'm
always
seeing
put
correlations. I'm a data. I look at data. I'm looking.
yeah.
There's a correlation. The Earth is dying,
And they always put this stuff
and
in movies before it
before
start
happening,
happening in real life. Yeah.
the Earth is
So
dying. The marine life is dying, and people are running, using, creating AI and colonizing Mars and all that. We are doing what? I'm talking about that. So, and I see a lot of people talking about AI. There are a lot of jobs out here for AI. There's a lot of money for AI.
yeah.
To create your own. To create your own. Just to create your own. You can create your own avenue, your own lane.
Yeah.
You can create your own blockchain, AI. KeepItTechie gives you Linux. Man, I wish I had Linux. When free Linux, someone told me about free Linux. Everybody's doing this, but again, I got to the point where, like, nobody cares. You have 17 people watching now, and I gave you blockchain. I gave you something on blockchain.
Yeah, $1 million worth of game.
More money.
$1 million worth of game.
On how to make money.
Yeah.
So again, that whole space of, okay, it gets to the point where I say, okay, I need to just create my own and just start doing what I need to do on my own and create an avenue for my own.
Yeah.
Even if it's, and you might see it, you might not see it, but I'm going to be creating, and I'm already linking up with people around the space. But at the end of the day, YouTube, YouTube. I came to YouTube. I shared my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
Yeah.
I shared knowledge in tech, AI, blockchain, and cannabis. So I've done my part.
Well, hopefully I can keep finding you so I can bring you on. We can talk about this. Yeah, I'm just joking with
I
you.
can tell you, I can give you the address, but to be
Yeah.
honest with you, no, it's for me, my whole hope is, because right now, anytime I come to space, I just look at it and I say, well, I spent 5 minutes in the space. I can guarantee you right now, if you go and look at other channels right now, you can see the next 5 channels from the Black Manosphere, all you see is talk about women, and
Yeah.
I'm not doing all that.
Yeah, that's another reason I start staying away, because I mean I'll come in and say something and then I'll disappear, you know what I'm saying? Like, speak to people and then disappear, because I don't know, it's no benefit. It seems like it's just the same discussions over and over. But I'm gonna have to go on and end it though, in engineering, bro. I appreciate you coming through. You know what I'm saying? You dropped like a whole bunch of knowledge, and I definitely appreciate it. Stick around to, I'm gonna run a little outro, but I appreciate all you guys for coming through. And sorry to cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off, engineering, but I just need to go on and end it. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna have to do this again, do a part 2, and just talk about this again. I'll do some more research. You do some more research or whatever. Yeah, we can talk about it.
A lot of more blockchains coming out. A lot of more products coming.
Yeah.
So you gonna see me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm
a lot of products gonna come.
Yeah, definitely.
Might be my own product too. So
yeah, and you can talk about your own product on here. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody for coming through. Shout out to everybody in the building, and Pearson Center Cyber. I appreciate you coming through. I forgot to shout you out as well. Doug, good to see you. And somebody else just popped in. Superman kick in. Okay. Shout out to you, Superman, and Professor Black Ops. Shout out to all you guys, man. I definitely appreciate you coming through. You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to come kick it with me and engineering, and I definitely appreciate it again, engineering. But shout out to all you guys, and man, please look into blockchain technology and start looking in to try to see if you can develop it. They got courses out here for free that'll teach you blockchain. I've seen it on edX. That'll teach you how to develop on it, or at least understand blockchain. Because like what Engineering Cannibiz has said throughout this whole stream, that the big money is going to be made on the development side, and not just working with the coins and all that stuff. It's going to be the back end, and how it's going to be introduced to all these different industries. So definitely appreciate all you guys coming through. Thanks, Engineering Cannibiz. Stick around. Let me run the outro, and peace, guys.
All right. Peace.